everybody, this video for the ForestVision 2.2 update, just going to cover a lot of the new functionality of the update, and let's just go ahead and get right to this. So the big thing with the update is that the textures and materials have moved towards substances, and so the big thing that you're going to be looking for in this update is going to be in the extras folder over here, and then substances. And there's a couple of different types of substances that I'm giving you, and the first one we're going to talk about here is the ForestVision texture adapter. What this particular substance does is it takes any texture that you have, and as you can see, it turns it into a substance, and it generates the ambient occlusion, base color, the height, the metallic, and the normal map for you. What that means is that it's not storing these textures when you're not using the engine. As soon as you load this up, it then generates these textures based on the setting that you have. So this particular texture is using a setting of 512 by 512, and you can change that to a 2K if you want, or whatever size you want. But when you close the engine, these textures go away, so you're not storing them, which is awesome. And a big change that you guys will probably see is that in the source textures folder, so let's say the trunks, the textures trunks, I've added some more textures, but we've gotten rid of all the normal maps and everything's substance now. So for example, let's say here, say I'm going to use, let's go into a ground, and say we're going to use this one. So with the ForestVision texture adapter, I'm just going to hit Control D on this one here and make a new copy. So this thumbnail is not the one that you actually can apply. You can see it doesn't let you apply this one. When you open it, this is the one that you can actually apply. So I'm going to go and apply this one, and I'm going to come down here to the base color map input, and let's pick a new one. Let's just say this one. So it takes that one and it generates all these textures for you. So you don't have to worry with storing them anymore. And so, okay, that's pretty cool. Now what you can also do is some basic substance like things. You can add water, which is all being driven from the height of the texture. You can, let's say we put some ice on there, let's freeze the water, or let's add some snow. Okay, so these are all things that are just very basic substance things that you now can take advantage of. We also have the dual channel, and what this is basically the same thing as the other one. This one is meant, texture adapter is just basically you just want to have a texture, you want to make a substance, get it on your objects and your scene, and go on. That's what this one's for. This guy, the dual channel, takes two inputs and gives you the ability to blend between them. You've got a couple of basic things that you can do to it. You can, change the hue of the original one, the brightness. So you've got a couple of values here that you can play around with, and I encourage you to do so. This substance here, this is one that I gave just as something to play around with. This is one from a project, a school project actually. This is one I really kind of, my first substance, and it's got all kinds of things to do, and this is from a tutorial from the algorithmic guys. So you can see here there's a lot of little changes you can make to it that will change the substance, and this is pretty fun to play with. But before I get too long-winded on that, I want to show you what the newest feature of ForestVision is. And this substance is the blend foliage. Okay, and what this one does, you give it some source images, give it a winter, your basically what the bark, the branches look like, what your leaves look like, and then you've got this global blend control. I'm going to go ahead and set this to 0. 0 means winter. And let's just get this out the way here. So we are in winter right now, and as we begin to move this, you can see that we have turned into spring. Spring is effectively 0.25. Let's go ahead and keep moving the slider. As we go, we turn into summer. Summer is 0.5. So you see we now have full leaves. And then as we continue to move the slider, we're going to move into autumn. Autumn is 0.75. And we've got a couple of extra things we can do here to these leaves. Instead of our fall drop down, we can change the hue and all that thing. But fall reddened leaves, we can actually add how much of that, that decay, the beautiful red color decay, do we want to add to it. Add a lot or not a little bit or whatever. And as we continue our slider, we move back in towards winter, where all the leaves have died. So I hope that that's going to add some pretty cool functionality for you. The substance, ForestVision substances are probably where I'm going to spend most of my time now and in the future, is adding more substance effects and stuff like that to make things very, very cool for everybody. So let's go backwards. Fall, and then we hit summer, and then we hit spring. So here in spring, you've got the ability to change the hue of the flowers, lightness. Maybe we want some white flowers, and now we got white flowers. Or go ahead and go back. So it's a pretty cool effect. Basically, you just give it the source images, give it your winter, summer, spring is basically the buds on the trees and all that stuff, and I take care of all the blending for you. So you'll notice the ForestVision menu bar is gone. It's now inside of Tools. And real quickly, I have deprecated the browser, or the old school editor. For whatever reason, Unity and meta files and how it reads and handles the thumbnails is just, it's still giving an issue, and so I'm not supporting it anymore. It's still here. Maybe it will work for you. It's just not working for me on my machine anymore. Like I said before, this is a bug that Unity knows about. Have been informed that the developers are looking into it, but this is a very minor thing for them, I'm sure. I don't think anybody's really losing sleep over it, and therefore neither am I. But I did, even though it's deprecated, it's there. Maybe it works for you, but I did pull out the tools, and these are tools that I find to be very useful. The tree tools, being able to spawn and have access to all that good stuff. But what I did add is the ForestVision Reset Transform. And just real quick, let's take a look at, let's go into source meshes, and so we see here this tree is very small, and let's say we want this tree to be bigger. When we add it, we want it to be this big, when we train paint or whatever. As we can see right now, this is not going to work out very well for us with the transforms being so off. So what we want to do with this is, first thing I want to do is I want to center this to the world, and with it being centered, that takes care of those transforms, the position, and we hit reset transform, and you'll see that it actually took that tree, made an empty game object which has clean transforms, and has parented it inside of this new hierarchy. And now if I say new optimized, you'll see that it collapses it down to one element, and this one element can now be prefabbed. So if I take it and let's say I put this into optimized, drag this in here, we've now made our new element, and you can see it's no longer the size of the other one, and we've effectively reset the transforms on the object, which is very useful. So I've also added the ability to add the branch rotation script, which is the script that's used on branches to give them the wind animation, and the ForestVision item scripts for those that actually still have luck with the browser working. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you that I've kind of pulled that out and rearranged things a little bit, and also added the FBX exporter, which is an open source plugin that I use all the time, and I figured since I'm using it, might as well bundle it up so that everybody else can use it as well. So if you ever want to take one of the trees and you want to take it into 3D Studio Max and tear it apart or make a different version or whatever, then go ahead and use the FBX exporter. But that's the latest on the tools update. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch the video and kind of get a feel for what ForestVision brings to the table, so to speak, and get a little bit of an idea of kind of what is in store for you and what these new features are, and really excited about the future of ForestVision with these substances, and really looking forward to just continuing to develop that particular tool, and just add a whole bunch and more substances and see what else we can do to kind of keep things interesting for us. And I was hoping to get it done for this update, but I'm just so ready to get this update out. But I am working on the next substance. Actually all you have to do in order to make these particular foliages, all you're going to have to do is give it one of these leaves, which is kind of where I have this thing set up already, with the sources, textures, leaves, with all these little single leaves. All you're going to have to do is say, okay, give it this particular texture, and then I will create the whole entire branch for you. But that's what's coming up in the future version. So I'm going to go ahead and get working on that, and I hope that everybody likes the latest updates of ForestVision, and I look forward to see what you guys come up with. Alright, thanks for being a customer, and if you're not, I hope you will be soon.